Welcome back to meditation. 2018 promises to be an awesome year, I have no doubt, because it's an 11 year demanding mastery of self, and it's the year of the dog. So we are in the habit of celebrating the year of the dog around here. Come the 16th of February, feel free to come around in your Chinese outfit with your chopsticks and your own little Chinese box of takeaway, and we will throw a Chinese New Year dinner party. What do you think? Nobody's saying anything.
Sounds Chinese.
It sounds Chinese. Okay, so the year ahead is going to be challenging for most of us, if only because all of the changes happening around us are unfolding at a crazy pace, and we have to either keep track or rise above. If you are choosing to keep track of the changes around you, be prepared to lose your mind, because it's going to be increasingly stressful to keep track of everything that's going on around you. The quickest, easiest way to manage life in the year ahead is to keep track of what's going on inside of you. And of course, meditation is the place to do that. I was saying to Damir, was it yesterday? Yesterday, that I personally am moving into a space where I would prefer that we did more meaningful meditating, because you should all be sick and tired and bored with voice-guided meditations now. Really, you should have outgrown them after 5 years. And if you haven't, hit the replay button on the 260 odd meditations that are available. I would like for this group to move into a space of being quieter together, more intensely connected together, practicing things like breathing and practicing getting into your sacred zone and expanding your awareness from there. Because that really does take practice. Everything that we've done, particularly in the past 2 to 3 years, can now be accessed with auto-suggestion in your energy systems. So let's just practice this auto-suggestion thing for a moment. Take a deep breath in and everybody get grounded. And check, if you will, whether me asking you to take a deep breath in and get grounded immediately puts you in a zone of feeling connected to the earth. Has your body now been sufficiently trained to get grounded without too much effort? Yeah. If I say, take a deep breath in, focus your attention on your heart center and ensure that it is open and receptive, what happens?
Automatic.
It should be automatic now. It should be completely automatic. Because we've done this, God only knows how many hundreds of times, for your body, like Pavlov's dogs, to be trained into doing it with just the suggestion or instruction. Now, you are lucky that I did not attach all of those instructions to the sound of a bell. Because wherever you are, if a bell was ringing, you'd be responding appropriately and accordingly. But if you recognize, now this is important, if you can recognize for yourself that your body has been sufficiently trained into doing a particular thing without too much effort on your part, what stops you from doing it more regularly, more quickly, by yourself and for yourself? If you intend to live a heart-centered life, then getting up every morning and giving yourself the instruction to get grounded, for your heart center to open and get aligned and receptive, that's up to you. You don't need my voice telling you to do that. And if you do need my voice telling you to do that, please make an appointment. I will record it on your phone as your daily alarm. Technology makes this so easy and so simple. If you need any reminders to breathe deeply, to open your chakras, to let your 12 bodies take a moment of rest to get aligned, What's your energy systems doing while I'm talking?
Just that.
Exactly that. Even Pandora's energy system is doing exactly that while I'm talking. This is how well trained this group is after 5 years. Now, in the Tuesday group and the newcomers to this group, I can understand if they say they're not having the same experience. But you have no excuse. So this group, as the more practiced group, is going to experience quieter meditations with less talking and more being with yourself. Even if it's one chakra at a time, we are going to work on raising your awareness and projecting that awareness into the universe step by step. In-depth practice, because this is the year of intuitive intelligence. I said that to you yesterday too, didn't I? Yes. Intuitive intelligence. It's an 11 year. Those two ones that stand next to each other must create harmony in the being that they contain. And our intuitive intelligence has been growing, has been developing. We've been practicing using it. This is the year in which we bring it to the fore and we use it for blossoming, for enhancing consciousness all around us, and for ensuring that in this duality mastery number we have oneness. So the two ones must merge, they must unite into oneness with all things. Any illusion of separation must fall away. I am making the commitment to partnership relationship and to partnership on every level this year as part of my own mastery of self. And that's what the double one requires of us. We are in partnership with each other as we engage in our daily lives. We are in partnership with God. We are in partnership with the universe. We are in partnership with each other's intelligences. And we have a dependency on each other's intelligences to live a good quality life, to enhance our evolution as individuals and as a species. And if all of you didn't see Damir's message on Facebook when I was in Paris, it said, "Let's save the planet. It's the only one with chocolate on it." Yeah. Now this is a good enough excuse to make sure that things get better. I've also been talking to one of my other air sign clients about compassion, and saying one of the things I've realized is that regardless of what language we speak, compassion, this language of the heart, is something we are all capable of. You do not need a spiritual education to be compassionate. You do not require an academic education to be compassionate. It does, however, require a level of intuitive intelligence, which is what we are all born from and born with, to be compassionate. And this intuitive intelligence that is so much a part of who we are, it's exactly like us knowing that we are at one with the stars. We're made of exactly the same elements of the stars. How are the stars created? Intuitively. How does our design work? Intuitively. We know that we are intuitively intelligent, but we're afraid to use it because on the physical plane, it is the least of the intelligences that is rewarded with physical plane tangible outcomes. And yet, in the spiritual life, we know this is the intelligence that creates the pathway and drives it and inspires it and creates it, unfolding every step of the way to meet your deepest desires and your most profound wishes. This is the intelligence that keeps us alive, that keeps the entire creation buzzing and destroying and maintaining and growing every step of the way. It is the exact same intelligence that Shiv is made of. This is the intelligence we want to use the most. And compassion is one of the bonuses of that. I was looking at detachment while I was sitting at the top of Sacre Coeur. And I realize that, people have mistaken detachment in the Western world. Deepak Chopra has taught people detachment is your willingness to allow the universe and the wisdom of the universe to unfold for your highest good. And I think it's a really great definition, because that is what detachment is. The understanding that the wisdom of the universe unfolds for your highest good. That you don't have to be involved with or attached to any particular outcome. That you don't have to concern yourself with strategizing your next step and pushing and controlling and manipulating to make things happen. And then, of course, there's the whole Buddhist teaching of detachment and compassion, where the Buddha says, don't be attached to anything. Allow everything to be what it is. And when the Buddhist teaching was moved into the West, people began to talk about detachment as being objective, detachment as not being engaged with, not being emotionally invested in, not participating fully, not knowing that there by the grace of God go I. And they started to teach detachment as a thing that sets you apart from others, as a thing that means that you will not experience pain, as if you're supposed to be flatlining with detachment. Now you will note the irony that 2 years ago when Paddy died, we started a whole series of discussions on toxic attachments. And 2 years later, I'm talking about compassion and detachment from a completely different perspective. Because in the past 2 years, I've learned that detachment requires me to feel. It requires me to empathize. It requires me to engage and participate and to know what others are feeling. I can be detached enough to be objective enough to deliver the information without an emotional slant, without a prejudice. But I cannot be so detached that I cannot feel it at all. Detachment does not mean that you do not experience pain. The mere fact that you are human says you are going to experience pain. And if you are empathizing with other humans, you must experience pain. You must resonate with it. You must be able to identify with it. You must be able to grow from it. This is a service we provide for each other. Detachment says you are not decimated by it. That even through experiencing the pain of another and empathizing with it, you are still able to serve. That you are not so engrossed in it that you take it on as your own and become less adequate, less capable, less, empathic and compassionate towards the other. Being able to experience pain is intended to make us better at serving each other. When I've commanded or demanded of my guides, why do you have to suffer so much to be this person? They've said, so that you will never have to say to any human being on the planet, I can just imagine. I can imagine how you feel. You will not have to imagine it. You will know it. And knowing it is important, because when you know something, there is no illusion attached to it. And this is the gift of intuitive intelligence, that you will know. Knowing comes with assurance. Knowing comes with confidence. And knowing comes with a new ability to serve. This development of your intuitive intelligence and your ability to be compassionate and resonate with the pain of others is the ability to serve yourself and others better. As a center, we mind our own business and we go our own way, and we do our charities quietly. We do our service from this center quietly, because I have never once thought that it was a point of marketing us. I have never ever looked at service as a point of saying, well, we do all this great stuff, so you should believe in spirit. And we do all this great stuff, so you should come here. It is not a marketing point. It is a point of anchoring us into the earth, though. Because what service does, and this is what all of the greatest teachers have taught, including Shirdi Baba and Osho, I might add, all of the teachers have taught that what service does is that it connects you through compassion, through pain, and through self-respect to everything that is. It connects you to God in a whole new way, whether you believe in God or not. And that, just very by the way, is the last time in this center that I am saying whether you believe in God or not. Okay? Thank you, Lou. I don't care whether you believe in God, I do. I don't care whether you know whether there's a God or not. If you take a look in the mirror, there is God. If you look at my dog, there is God. Let's skip over this whole question about whether there is a God or not. Let's establish there is a God. So, moving on. Whether you have faith in that God or not is up to you. But there is a God. How do we know this? You still don't know how we know this?
You tell me.
I'm breathing. You?
As well.
Yep. In the typical South African fashion, you are breathing as well. I hope you're not breathing as well as I am. I hope you are breathing better than I am today. I'm having difficulty breathing, but the mere fact that I'm having difficulty breathing tells me there is a God. When I look outside at the universe, there is a God. So this is not an argument I'm going to have anymore. That I am sitting here talking 2 years later about detachment, and that we have left toxic attachments behind, and that in those 2 years we have been served by the most amazing masters, tells me there is a God. When I'm standing at the top of Sacré-Cœur and I'm looking at Paris at my feet, and all I can feel is so grateful that I have eyes that can see this view, that I have fingers that can hold onto the stone and feel the energy of the stone, that I have ears, that I can taste the breeze, that all of my senses are awake and alert, and I am seeing the energy of these buildings. There is a God. And when I come back to my smaller life, and my bigger life, and my smaller life, and my bigger life, and I feel myself fluctuate between the two, there is a God. All of these shifts and changes tell you that energy is flowing. And because energy never dies, there is a God. I don't know how we can even doubt this. I think you need to be excessively, academically, intellectually complicated and ultra stupid to not know that there is a God. You have a choice about whether you have faith in that God or not. But to deny in any way whatsoever, to get so caught up in your mind that you deny the existence of something far greater and far more vast than even your imagination can conjure up, is to be in denial about creation itself. The smallest butterfly emerging from a caterpillar to the greatest eagle soaring over the sky shows you there is a God. This is not an argument we are having anymore. Done. Okay?
Never had an argument.
Bullshit. Bullshit. We've had this argument how often?
All the time.
All the time. Thank you.
But we just define God, so yeah. That helps.
You know, the men in the center. Thank God the men in spirit that I talk to are so much more amenable. Even Osho's laughing. Sorry, Marusha, not you. Not you. Not Anise. Not Rama. Rama never has any questions about is there a God. Even Oliver is good. It's only the two of you. It's only the two of you. A Gemini to the left of me and a Libran to the right.
Scorpion?
Heathens.
Heathens both. Yes. Atheists both. Catholics both.
No.
Yes, you see what happens. This is what religion does to God. In any event, back to compassion and service and detachment. The practice of detachment is not that I am disconnected. Be very clear about the difference between detachment and disconnected. We are practicing detachment this year because we want to blossom fully, we want to serve fully, and of course, we want to experience self so fully that we don't allow obstacles and boundaries within ourselves to get in the way. And that requires detachment. An ability to be more objective about your own issues, an ability to be more objective about your own pain, to experience it fully and yet not be decimated by it. To engage with it fully, knowing with confidence, with your own intuitive intelligence, that it is yours, that it is as big or as small as you choose to make it. And that requires detachment. Detachment is the ability to make a decision about whatever is going on, whatever experience is unfolding in front of you, without the experience determining your choices. That's what detachment is. And then if you like, and if you're in the mood for a challenge, you can throw a little bit of faith into your detachment in order to ensure that the decision you're making does in fact unfold for the highest good of all parties concerned. Okay? Let us meditate.